Hello and welcome. Thank you all for joining us today. We're so thrilled to have you here. As you saw, we're recording today's event, so we can continue the celebration and share the celebration today. My name is Erin Atwell, and I'm the CEO of Community Shares of Colorado, and I'm so pleased to welcome you to our third annual Civic 50 Colorado Honoree Announcement event. We are so thrilled to celebrate the civic engagement of local companies here in Colorado, and we're so excited to have you here with us today. The Civic 50 Colorado is a program of CSR Solutions of Colorado, which is a nonprofit initiative between Community Shares of Colorado and Spark the Change Colorado. As you can hear, we are very Colorado focused, and we're very excited to celebrate the impact here in Colorado. As you all know, we have a robust history of corporate social responsibility and civic engagement here in our state. And 3 years ago, CSR Solutions of Colorado partnered with Points of Light and asked if we could bring the Civic 50, which is a national program, to Colorado, and if we could help to regionalize the survey so that we could start telling the stories and measuring the impact of our CSR history and this amazing civic engagement that we know is happening here in our state and that has such a long history in our state. And so 3 years ago, we introduced the Civic 50 to Colorado. We are the first state to hold a Civic 50 regionalized to tell local stories. And we've begun to benchmark, develop shared language, and now we're able to tell the real stories of impact here with our work. So as you all know, who are joining us today, the survey is an in-depth assessment and a learning tool that can be used by Colorado companies to track, measure, plan their CSR strategies, and then additionally really infuse strategy and intention into this work. This also gives us an opportunity to collaborate together by sharing these stories of impact and finding ways for our local community to thrive in the work in this space. As many of our local companies complete the Civic 50 survey, all of that data is analyzed by our partners over at True Impact, who help us evaluate and raise the top 50 the top 50 recipients to honor at today's event. And so we are so pleased that we'll be able to recognize and honor the 50 companies here in Colorado that have risen to the top and used this data and this information to really build programs of impact, and for all who took the survey to provide inspiration, idea, and engagement as we all continue to build this work together to benefit our community. So this work would not be possible without a few key partners that I'd like to take a few minutes to thank at the top of our program here. A big thank you to our key promotional partner, Civic. A big thank you to our underwriting and in-kind media support provided by Delta Dental of Colorado, the Denver Business Journal, and Comcast NBC Universal. And finally, a big thank you to our sponsors who help underwrite this event and underwrite the Civic 50 program, Copic, S&P Global, and Charles Schwab, who helped did a pledge just this week. And apologies that our logo didn't get on the slide deck here, but a big thank you for your financial underwriting to make this programming possible. I'd also like to thank the Civic 50 Colorado host committee members. These are our community members who recognize the value and importance of talking about CSR, celebrating the work that we're doing in CSR, and helping to bring this program to Colorado and help it grow and thrive over the past 3 years. And so I will share a big thank you to all of our host committee members who have helped us make this such a huge success. and helped us get the word out about the Civic 50 survey and today's event. Thank you. And then finally, I'd like to thank our partners, our national partners, Points of Light and True Impact, who helped us bring this national resource here to Colorado to really use locally and help us continue to celebrate and tell our stories locally. So now, as you all know, we'd much rather be in person with you all. As we look at each other on these virtual screens, we're going to take just a few minutes to have an opportunity to network, say hello, and meet somebody new today that is also engaged in this important work and community. So we're going to break out 2 times into breakout rooms for just 3 minutes. So I hope you'll take this opportunity to share your name, share where you work, and maybe something that inspires you or that you learned about the Civic 50 through your process with the program, and say hello to meet somebody new or hopefully greet a longtime friend. So we're going to break out here for 3 minutes, come back, and then we'll break out again. So welcome back, everyone. Wonderful. Well, I hope that you were able to see a few familiar faces, maybe meet somebody new, and connect with somebody else in this great collaborative work that we're all doing together. So now it's my honor to welcome Kevin Pitts to our event. Kevin leads the Denver Business Journal, serving as its publisher and market president, overseeing total operations and strategy. During his 20+ year career, I use the word campaign a lot in my work and it just rolls off my tongue, apologies. During his 20-year career with American City Business Journals, he has grown audience and diversified revenue for the company as publisher and market president of the Charlotte Business Journal and East Bay Business Times in Northern California, and as vice president, advertising and audience at Philadelphia Business Journal. American City Business Journals, based in Charlotte, North Carolina, is the nation's largest publisher of local business news and data, serving 44 cities with print and digital publications, events, and research. It's owned by Advanced Publications of New York, with titles including The New Yorker, Vogue, Architectural Digest, and others. And I am so pleased to welcome Kevin to help us celebrate the Civic 50 Colorado. The Denver Business Journal continues to be a fantastic partner in telling and celebrating stories of civic engagement and community impact. And so we're so pleased to have him here with us today to help lead us in this celebration. So Kevin, I'll hand it off to you. Welcome.
Thank you, Erin, and thank you for that long introduction. I don't think I've ever heard that before. And I'm always campaigning for something, so that probably was accurate. But welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for this special program. When the opportunity to support this came up, it really was a no-brainer for me and the Business Journal. While there is no question that companies are facing increasing scrutiny from a range of stakeholders to do business in a more environmentally and socially responsible manner, the debate over the business case for CSR programs should be over. It has been proven over and over that companies that do good do well. And the good that they do improves the lives of so many, which strengthens our communities and also adds to the quality of life and the competitiveness of our region. And that's a pretty strong business case. Those of you that subscribe to the Denver Business Journal know we regularly report on CSR. In addition to our regular coverage, we have a Good Works feature. Thank you, Delta Dental, for sponsoring that. And of course, we publish our annual giving guide to help our readers understand the needs in our community and how they can support them. Additionally, those of you that have submitted nominations for our awards programs, and I know there are many of you, I know there are honorees in this crowd, you know CSR and community engagement are very important metrics included in our scoring rubrics. In fact, the science behind our annual Best Places to Work program, which measures employee engagement, demonstrates the unmistakable connection between a company's CSR practices and its ability to attract, retain, and engage employees, and ultimately to influence work and business outcomes. So make no mistake, key findings from our own reporting and awards programs and research, surveys, and programs like Civic 50 Colorado make an ironclad business case for implementing CSR programs. And sharing examples of what success looks like is so important. It inspires and helps others align their philanthropic mission with their bottom line goals. I think we can all agree that's a good outcome. The companies we honor today serve as extraordinary examples of CSR success during unparalleled challenges that clearly didn't stop Colorado companies that understand the value of civic engagement and corporate responsibility in our community and for the local business environment. Each year, the Civic 50 Colorado survey elevates key themes and findings. Despite a year fraught with workplace disruptions and financial difficulties and an endless list of challenges, honorees of the Civic 50 Colorado still found ways to significantly contribute to the state of Colorado. This year's honorees contributed over 80 million in monetary and in-kind donations to Colorado charitable causes. They provided more than 160,000 volunteer hours thanks to their employees toward COVID-related assistance, social justice efforts, and other causes. They clearly led with their values. Workplace diversity, equity, and inclusion programs are now offered at the majority of the honoree companies. And they invested in employee paid time off to volunteer. I know we'd like to see more of that with more companies. More than 2/3 of honoree companies offer paid time off to volunteer. So Denver Business Journal is committed to telling the impressive stories of civic-minded companies and their outcomes. And now I'd like to introduce Kirsten Vermeulen, Executive Director of Be Civic, to tell you more and share a story highlight from the 2021 Civic 50 Colorado survey.
Thank you, Kevin. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Be Civic and our board of directors and team, as a partner of the Colorado Civic 50, we are just so honored to be here today and to celebrate with you all. As Kevin shared a couple of the top line trends, we wanted to elevate a couple of the company stories that emerged in the research. And as Aaron mentioned, one of the incredible assets of this work is that we can share in language and framework for advancing corporate social responsibility, but also to tell better stories and to inspire others. So just a couple of those stories. As he mentioned, CSR is deeply embedded in diversity, equity, and inclusion work. Over 3/4 of Civic 50 Colorado honorees formally promote diversity, equity, and inclusion through their social impact work. One example of our Colorado companies is Health One. Their CEO actually leads their DEI council, and their managers all take conscious inclusion training, which is a wonderful practice. We also know that CSR is elevated in our companies here in Colorado, and it's showing up on board meeting agendas. One example is CoBank, and they have strategically integrated CSR into their business and financial planning, and it is one of 7 key priorities for that company. Civic engagement is also a leading trend, and as Kevin mentioned, very important for our employees to have the time and flexibility to exercise their civic duties. Over 3/4 of Civic 50 honorees now provide employees time off and flex time to vote, very important. And in fact, AAA Colorado gave every employee a half day off to take time to fill out and drop their ballots. Very impressive. We also know that for our Colorado companies, while they are managing many, many stakeholders, including customers and of course, board members. Employees are at the center. And there were just an extraordinary outpouring of civic engagement behaviors, including charitable giving and volunteering, of course. 2/3 of honorees had paid time off, as Kevin mentioned, but Excel Energy, first among them, extraordinary 40 hours a year to volunteer for their employees at a C3 here in Colorado. So incredible investment of volunteer power in our community. And again, just want to reiterate, incredible commitment in terms of in-kind and monetary support. So over $80 million. That is just worth repeating and pausing to celebrate. $80 million invested in our community at a time when rebuilding resilience is so critical to Colorado. So again, we want to celebrate all of our honorees, of course, today, but wanted to share a couple of exemplary models with you through the key trends that Kevin mentioned. So over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, and good to see you again, Kirsten. It's been a while. Hope we see each other in person soon. Thank you so much, and I'll echo it one more time. 80 million in impact. That's a really nice number to be able to share. And now the time has come. Those wonderful stories are just a sample of the amazing work our Colorado companies do in the quest to find impactful ways to support the needs of our communities. So let's get ready to meet our Civic 50 Colorado honorees. It's time for the big reveal. I'd like to welcome back a few colleagues to help me recognize this year's honorees. Aaron Atwell, the CEO of Community Shares of Colorado. Christy Judd, CEO of Spark the Change Colorado. We'll be bringing back Kirsten Vermeulen, Executive Director of Be Civic, and Adib Khan, Vice President of Corporate Social Responsibility and Executive Director, Delta Dental of Colorado Foundation. I think we are ready to go, but one couple things before we begin. We'd like to ask those of you who received a package in the mail to have it nearby. We'll let you know when to open your box. Just not yet. What you can do is take yourself off mute. This may get a little crazy, but feel free to clap and share excitement. Make some noise after each group of names is called. We will return to the boxes after the complete list of 50 honorees is read. Okay, I think we are ready. Well-deserved congratulations to all of our Civic 50 Colorado honorees. The names of these companies will be read in alphabetical order. And over to you, Adib. Kick it off.
So I'm going to kick us off by celebrating and recognizing our first 10 honorees. 9 News, Tegna, AAA, yes, please, AAA Colorado. Anthem, AT&T, Ball Corporation, Bank of America, Brownstein Hyatt Barber and Schreck, Charles Schwab, CoBank, and Comcast NBC Universal. A big celebration to our first round of 10.
Yeah, way to go, way to go.
Congratulations.
And I'll keep the party going here and read our second 10 names. A big congratulations to CoPic, Core Contractors Roofing Systems, Craig Hospital, Deloitte, Delta Dental of Colorado, Denver Community Credit Union, Empower Retirement, First Western, Ground Floor Media and Center Table.
Yes.
Group 14 Engineering. Congratulations to our next 10.
Congratulations. Way to go.
Hey, Health One. Well, yes, IMA Financial Group.
Woo.
InfoCubic Employment Screening, Janice Henderson Investors, KeyBank, KPMG, Liberty Global, Lockheed Martin, Yes, and Lumen Technologies. Woo!
Congratulations.
There we go. You ready?
All right, I get the next group. Yay!
Christy.
We are hi. We are so proud to recognize Mayfly Outdoors. Mortensen, who I understand has a team in place, right? Upton Johnson, Robinson, Neff, plus Raganetti PC, Tax 8, Peak Resources. Hey, how are you? It's good to see you. Pinnacle Assurance, PNC, Premier Members Credit Union, Prologis Inc., and RevGen Partners. Yay!
All right, I'll bring it home with the last 10 of the 50. We've got S&P, S&P Global. Slalom. TIAA. UPS.
Gosh. US Bank.
US Bank. Vail Resorts. Yeah. Vectra Bank, Colorado. That's the way you do it. I like that. Way to go, Vectra Bank. Wells Fargo. Boy, Vectra really set the bar high there, didn't they? All right, Western Union. Yeah. And Excel Energy. Yeah.
Yay!
All right, congratulations to all the Civic 50 Colorado 2021 honorees. Thank you for all you do to support Colorado communities and move our region forward. Now, Brooks Bryant with CSR Solutions of Colorado will lead our shared moment of celebration.
Okay, so everyone that has their surprise box, please unmute your mics. For those of you that don't have a box, you may want to mute it because we want the sound and the movement to just go to the people that are opening their box. We're going to have a little countdown right here. I've got to tell you that I'm so happy to do this because all year long with the surveys, what I get to do is just answer people's questions. Like, Brooks, how do you answer this question? What does this dimension mean? What are they talking about with this? And so finally, I get to do the fun thing with you guys. So those of you with the box in front of you, have your box, hold the little, there's a little tab on it toward you. Hold the box down, and when I count down from 3, we're going to open our boxes. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Open the box.
Oh, that was great.
And so I would like to tell everyone that for those of you who enjoyed this, you're welcome. And for those of you who did not like the surprise, send your emails to Christy Judd and Aaron Atwell. Thank you, everybody. And we'll turn it back over for closing comments.
Hi, everyone. Well, we hope you had a little bit of fun with that today. We knew it wasn't the same as being in person, but we thought at least we could, all experience something together. And
Thank you.
thanks, Brooks, also for, throwing Aaron and me under the bus. That's always fun. So it's my privilege and pleasure to wrap this up for us today. This is just the tasty beginning of our celebration. I hope you enjoy your cake. We are pleased to announce that the Civic 50 Colorado 2021 list will again be published in the Denver Business Journal's Giving Guide Friday, November the 12th, due to the generous and continued sponsorship from Delta Dental. Thank you, Adib and Andrea and the whole team over there. We can't tell you how much we appreciate your support of this important program. Further, we encourage you to read more Colorado stories from our Civic 50 companies that will be featured in a dedicated section labeled Good Works, on the Denver Business Journal website. So for those of you who are familiar with that website, you know that it gets so much reading from everybody. The numbers are incredible. So your stories are going to be seen by everyone. As we end this year and we look forward to 2022, we invite you to follow us on social media. I hope our chat people are putting some good information in the chat box for you. We also want you to make sure that you get notifications of our upcoming webinars, both inspirational and educational, and you'll get to see the full report of the impact of all 50 companies that will be published probably about January or February. B. Bocalandro, again, national expert on all things CSR, is analyzing all of our data, putting it into a comprehensive report for us so that you can not only see your work, but see how others in our field are doing this work as well. And we also have a request that we might be able to, fingers crossed, volunteer out in public in 2022. So watch for news about a Colorado Civic 50 Day of Service, where we can all come together, bring all of our teams together and do something impactful as the core group that we are. It's an important leadership role for all of us in the Civic 50 family to invite all companies to participate with us. Another just quick note of thanks to people who make this program happen, our sponsors, our partners, Kevin and Helene, who never gets any airtime, but we love her. Kirsten and Jess, who does so much of our recruitment work. Thank you so much. Our own team, Susie, Becky, Jess, Maddie, Brooks, who may no longer be employed after today, we don't know, and Amanda, who we've sent off to law school. So happy to see her succeeding with us. And then I'd like to take just a moment to recognize an important, talented, innovative, forward-thinking leader who always says yes to any new idea or finds a way to make it work. Like bringing the Civic 50 to Colorado, Erin Atwell. Erin, as you know, is leaving her post. I'm going to get through this without crying, Erin. At the end of the year, we will miss you. I wanted all of us to take a moment just to say thanks to Erin for all of her hard work. This is never really goodbye. It's always just wherever she ends up, she'll be placed well to continue this work in another role, but always as a partner. So thank you, Erin. We love you and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Christy. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I hope to complete the Civic 50 survey next year.
Yay. And then finally, we have to thank all of you. You know, I think it's pretty apparent with all of the numbers that you've seen today that this is a dynamic, amazing group of individuals representing companies who are leaders in our community. It takes courage, it takes adaptability, it takes flexibility. It takes those people that want to step out first and say, this is important and we'll help lead the way. And know that there are many, many, many businesses watching you. Many potential employees waiting to see where they should, you know, be able to dedicate their time and talents. We know that our community can't exist without all of us working together. As we chart this new path into 2022, we do it together. We do it as a group of people who have shared values and a shared love of our community. And so we thank you. We congratulate each and every one of you for being on the Civic 50 Colorado company list for 2021. Congratulations. Thank you for attending today. Hey.